Caitlin Clark has done it again, and this time, the entire WNBA is watching. Caitlin Clark is still full of surprises. After dominating headlines in her debut year, breaking records, and becoming the WNBA's face before turning 24, you'd think the basketball world had seen it all. But this week, Clark reminded everyone that the story is only getting begun. Her return to Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena was more than just a homecoming. It was a proclamation. The Indiana Fever superstar did not simply wave to the crowd or offer a few words. She sent a message, a 36-foot message, one more bomb from the depths, further back than her signature. 22 inches logo shot. One final moment for the fans, the city, and the legend that continues to emerge. So why did she do that? Why risk missing her final opportunity in the venue that propelled her to stardom? What does this signify for the coming season and the increased strain on her shoulders? Let's take a look at the moment that revived the Caitlin Clark craze. Caitlin Clark is still full of surprises. During her return to Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena, the Indiana Fever diva chose to treat fans by hitting a shot from even further back than her record-breaking 22 inches logo placement. The lucky 15,000 people in attendance had a front-row witness to what may have been Clark's final basket on the court she considers home. The 23-year-old knew she wanted to leave her devoted Iowa women's basketball fans with one final cherished memory of her stunning live performances. Head coach Stephanie White said, "I'm going to take you out," Clark recalled as she detailed the breathtaking moment. "That means I can get a quick shot up. So I was like, why not? They let me dribble into it, and I'm always further back than I actually think. But yeah, I'm happy it went in," she finished with a smile. The bucket was essentially a recreation of Clark's shot, which broke the NCAA DI scoring record just over a year ago, surpassing the late great Pete Maravich's 3,667. Clark finished her Hawkeyes career with a new record of 3,951, just 49 points shy of a mind-blowing 4,000 lifetime college points. Clark had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block in 19 minutes before leaving the game against the Brazilian women's national team. Her 6 of 10 shooting from the field and 4 of 6 from three-point range propelled the Fever to a 108-44 victory. The Fever are coming off a brief playoff run to conclude the 2024 season, succumbing to the Connecticut Sun in the opening round. They rebounded by signing an impressive group of veterans in the offseason to surround Clark, including DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard, as well as players who complete the team's young core, like Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. Now, the former Hawkeye standout and Indiana are aiming for a WNBA championship. The Fever will conclude the preseason on May 10th against the Atlanta Dream, before preparing for the regular season opener against Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. But the historic shot wasn't the only item drawing attention in Iowa City. The audience, the intensity, and Clark's early season dominance spurred greater questions. Has she reached a new level? Is this version of the Fever ready to go the distance? Caitlin Clark, predictably, appeared at ease when she returned to the floor with the Indiana Fever for the first time in the 2025 season. The second-year standout earned enormous ovation from the fans during her homecoming debut at Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena, and the screams only became louder after she made her first three-pointer. Fever fans weren't the only ones cheering for Clark's first touchdown. Users on X, formerly Twitter, were just as excited about the reigning Rookie of the Year and went online to share their enthusiasm with fellow WNBA fans. "Caitlin Clark 3, the Queen of Iowa is back in her kingdom," one fan said. A basketball fan mentioned how on point Clark's chemistry was with the rest of the team and what that means for opponents this season. "Wow, look at the high double screen action. That is going to give a lot of teams headaches," they said. Another was simply thrilled to see Clark work in her environment. "Home court advantage here is dangerous," they wrote. The Fever comfortably defeated the Brazil women's national team in an exhibition game, winning 108-44. Clark's first 3 points came from beyond the arc, and she also had 6 rebounds and 5 assists in the memorable performance. The Iowa crowd had been looking forward to Clark's homecoming for a long time, but their excitement was palpable when her name was called to the court. When Clark's name was announced during player introductions at Iowa City's Carver Hawkeye Arena, the noise level allegedly reached 116 dB. Every player received cheers of 100 decibels or above, demonstrating Clark and Fever supporters' enthusiasm for the upcoming WNBA season. But the game was significant for another reason. It was Clark's first time on the court at Iowa since her all-time great college basketball career with the Hawkeyes ended in 2024. Clark became the NCAA's DI all-time greatest scorer during a career that included back-to-back national championships, 2 Naismith Awards, 2 AP Player of the Year awards, 2 Wooden Awards, and 3 Big Ten Player of the Year honors. But, just as momentum was regaining, a small injury threw fans off guard. Would the Fever's most potent weapon be ready for opening night? Caitlin Clark was sidelined for the Indiana Fever on Saturday, but head coach Stephanie White wasn't concerned. Before the game, she considered Clark's long-term health rather than the short-term. Fast forward to the finish of the game, and the sentiment remains. As White stated to Chloe Peterson of IndyStar Sports, the second-year guard was doing an excellent job communicating from the sideline. "I felt at one point she wanted to go back and put on her uniform," White told me. Not being able to play must have been painful for Clark. However, the long-term is significantly greater than the short-term, not to add that this is a preseason game. Nonetheless, this contest was as intense as a regular season game. For example, the Fever and Washington Mystics had a few squabbles throughout the game. Mind you, this was without Indiana's best player on the court. They were able to express their individuality and who they aimed to be as a team. Clark explained plays, defensive strategies, and kept her teammates involved. Regardless, not having her on the floor makes a huge difference. Erring on the side of caution is necessary for any WNBA player. For a player of Clark's skill, however, it is critical. Her impact as a facilitator and scorer is out of this world, as is the attention she receives. These are merely a few examples of what makes her excellent. White recognized that in Clark from the moment they faced off. When the current Fever coach was in Connecticut, she threw the house at the rookie. Sometimes it didn't matter. She still managed to make a play. Her knowledge was on full display on the court. White could now see it from the sidelines. Despite the fact that it is the preseason, the former Iowa standout is eager to play whenever possible. After all, she only missed 2 games last year, and those were due to a ruptured eardrum. At the end of the day, Clark's lower leg injury could have been a minor precaution. She used it throughout training camp. That alone demonstrates how tough the second-year player is. Now the focus is on preparing her for the regular season. The Fever will take any necessary steps to ensure she plays the whole regular season. Even if that means sitting her out the preseason, that is what it entails. White is sure that she will be ready to go in the next 24 hours. While Clark heals and recharges, her squad isn't simply treading water, they're developing. And now, fresh voices are rising. Sophie Cunningham, the new Indiana Fever guard, delivered a bombshell following her impressive preseason debut against the Washington Mystics. Cunningham was a valuable role player for the Phoenix Mercury for 6 years until joining the Fever via trade this offseason. In superstar point guard Caitlin Clark's second season in the WNBA, the franchise hopes to take the next step from good to great. The 2024 Rookie of the Year did not play on Saturday because to a leg injury, but the Fever defeated the Mystics 79-74. In a post-game interview with WNBA Sarah Jane Gamelli, Cunningham expressed confidence in the direction of her new squad. The 28-year-old led Indiana with 21 points and 8 rebounds, and she was a plus 16 while on the court. "We are all competitors, and we are here to win. It's a fresh start for a lot of people. New era for a lot of people. They have great people that they kept from last year who are young, and then you have a lot of championship experience are brought here. Just a combination is super smart. Now you have to put it together." Even with Clark at 23, the Fever's championship window is wide open. The front staff was aggressive this summer, assembling a strong supporting cast around its star. In addition to Cunningham, notable newcomers include 6-time All-Star DeWanna Bonner, former WNBA Defensive Player of the Year Natasha Howard, and 2-time champion Sydney Colson. This squad also features several returning players from previous year, including 2-time All-Star Alia Boston. This is now one of the league's deepest teams, with enough star power to beat anyone. Overall, Cunningham's comments indicate that this new group is already bonding. There may be some teething pains, like there were last season, but the Fever are anticipated to win at least one playoff round in 2025. Of course, many teams will stand in their way. There are various contenders, including the defending champion New York Liberty, the nearly dynastic Las Vegas Aces, and others. Several franchises will be extremely dissatisfied with the results of the 2025 season, based on their preseason expectations. However, barring injury, it's difficult to see a scenario in which the Fever aren't much better than in 2024. As long as this organization continues to move in the correct path, winning at least one championship during the Caitlin Clark era is unavoidable. So, what happens now? Will Caitlin Clark return to the court stronger than ever, ready to lead one of the WNBA's most talented teams to its first championship? Can the Fever handle the expectations, hoopla, and the target on their back? Most importantly, will this second season mark the beginnings of something bigger than records and rivalries? A dynasty? Stay tuned.